Good afternoon and welcome to this sunny Sunday vlog. Thank you to all new subscribers returning. I appreciate you all. There's been news of a couple, a Ugandan couple in their 60s that returned to Uganda after 30 years in Sweden. Sadly, this couple met a very painful end to their lives. They were eliminated by who are still being sought. I believe 2 people have been arrested in suspicion of that elimination. May their souls rest in peace. It made me start to think about returnees, those in diaspora that are planning or have returned and are returning to Africa, whichever country they choose to return to, maybe of their origin or wherever else. Many of us aspire to return to our homelands one day for various reasons. For many of us, it's because we feel that we may have a better type of standard of living. Maybe if we plan it in our older age, we might be potentially better off for many various reasons of all that may be unique to all of us, depending on where we come from. Some African countries are potentially safer than other countries. Some are more in terms of security and safety. Some are better, some are worse. For instance, I've met people from Eritrea that have never been back for well over 13 or 30 years. Why? Because they say it's extremely dangerous for them to go. Some because they no longer have families, and some want to go back because they have families, because they feel connected, because they feel more healed. We aspire to go back because it may be that it sits in our spirit and it's nagging. There's a nagging feeling that we need to prepare ourselves for retirement, for older age. And we start to ask ourselves, what will that look like? Will I remain where I relocated to abroad, or do I go back to my homeland where I feel that perhaps I belong, where I feel more connected, where I have family, where I have friends, where I have, for some of us, we are drawn to the weather. We feel that we might be better off that way because of health reasons, because just simply because any reason at all, you name it, just name it, whatever reason that comes to our mind that makes us feel that, yeah, we need to have something somewhere. Because it made me begin to think about what is going on in terms of immigration currently in the United States now. I mean, the other day in the news, they say that Nigerians will now, for instance, Nigeria is one of the countries, I believe. There's another one. Will probably get I think it's a 3-month visa instead of a longer one, like 6 months or longer, because Nigeria gave those countries shorter visas, and now Trump is saying that we are going to do the same to them. We will also give them shorter visas. This is going to have a huge impact on people that do business, people that travel often, people that go and want to visit families, perhaps for longer, that have families in those countries like USA. You hear about people being stripped of naturalization, people being stripped of their citizenship, and you ask yourself the question, it's now no longer stopping people or refusing people visas to go to the countries, but it's gone on to the next level where somebody that's been a citizen for a while, that has a green card, can no longer go back to the country. They are put on their tracks at immigration at the airports. and they are being sought in their employment and being removed by force to return to their countries. It makes us feel very insecure. It makes people feel insecure, should I say. It makes immigrants feel really insecure. And so we can't blame ourselves for wanting to do the next thing and to think about the next thing, to have a plan B other than where we are abroad in Europe or in America or wherever we are, wherever we locate to for whatever reason. I mean, if you think about it, you've raised children maybe abroad, they're grown, they're working, they flee the nest, and there you are as a couple or whether as a single person, you may begin to find that perhaps your work there is practically done, and we need to all evaluate our lives from time to time and say, what would I do in such a circumstance? There are many circumstances that are unique to each of us that will allow us and enable us to take certain decisions or not. Somebody like myself, I'll give myself as an example, because I believe so much in Africa, because I really truly love my homeland, I really truly love Africa. um I I begin to think about the things that I need to do to actually put something in place. And by the way, a lot of young people that have even grown up in some of these countries, our children that have been brought up here, may want to actually reverse relocate. Many of them, some youngsters are very open-minded and they are very wise. Young people have been known to return and even return before their parents and actually start businesses and actually establish themselves in their parents' land, even where they did not actually grow up in. You might have been exposed to it, but they may not have grown there. And these people, these young people are actually returning and doing things in their land. What more of those of us that grew up there? Anyway, the main reason I'm doing this video is because I feel like it follows up partly on one of the videos that I did, and I said, was it relocation? Is it a blessing or a curse? And I think that applies kind of to either uh, immigrating abroad from your own country or actually relocating back to your own country. It kind of applies. And here we are, years later, and there's more civil unrest, so to speak, in some of these countries that we relocated to. The locals are getting more angry with immigration, and we've got to ask ourselves the questions: what would we do? What would we have done in the case of this couple that returned? They made a decision to return. Sadly, it didn't end in a good way. But I think that as a final thought, that we need to put our trust in God and we need to stay hopeful and faithful. Yeah, we need to stay focused, hopeful, faithful, and we need to plan ahead. I don't think that anything at all should stop us from planning for the future, for those who want to return. And we need to have something that even our own children could fall back on tomorrow. We need to show them that they have somewhere else other than where they are, where their parents immigrated from, where their parents were brought up, and so forth. Having said all this, I do send my condolences to the family of the deceased, and I hope that this video acts as something that makes us rethink about the way we perhaps should I say, some people are saying lead a quiet life, live where people do not know where you live. But I don't think that may necessarily be the case. I don't know if this couple ever exposed their life to anybody. Some people are speculating that it's to do with the family feud. I don't know. I can't say a lot about it. I also don't want to show any pictures from the family here, because this is just something that within me, I don't think that was necessary. But my heart goes out to them and the family. And for those of us planning to go home one day, for those of us planning to relocate, should I say, I think let's keep focused. Let us not give up. Let us continue to put things in place. Let us continue to do that which God puts in our hearts. And I think He's the one that actually leads us to do certain things. Because if you think about it, if it's not something that's meant for you, it wouldn't come to your spirit to actually do. If you've got a project, by God's grace, it is Him who puts it in your heart to actually do those things. And there's a reason and purpose for it. And somebody might say, if there's a reason and purpose for it, why did it end in such a way? But I think that we can't question things too much. We cannot question God too much. But we can only keep an open mind. We can only, like I said, continue to put our requests to Him and allow Him to actually lead us in what He would like for us. That is what I believe. For those of us that are already, settled in another country, and you don't want anything to have to do with your original country, that is also fine. That also needs to be put, to God. That also needs to be taken into prayer. I think everything is about, prayer. Everything goes back that way, doesn't it, really, for believers? And so, having said all this, thank you so much for watching up to this stage. If you're new here, these are the kind of topics that I talk about: immigration and work, UK life. Here today, I have been tending to my garden, one of my hobbies here in summer. And I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you see something you like here, please do well to subscribe. Notify yourself via the notification button. And until next time, stay focused, stay faithful, and stay hopeful. God bless you, and bye-bye. This plant here is a cucumber and is beginning to grow and crawl right up. Tomatoes have been fruiting and everything is looking good in the garden. I'm grateful and enjoying the sunshine. Until next time, stay peaceful, stay grateful, and God bless you. Bye-bye.